Hey everybody, just make sure I'm live on my page. How's everybody doing? What I'm going to do today is I'm going to make some sugar eggs. I'm trying to pull this up so I can see your comments and everything. Yep, there we are. Okay. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sugar eggs. Yeah, I got some over here. Let me show you. That's what I'm making sale. So I've got this medium one. This is a medium sugar egg with the end view. Okay. And this is an upright sugar egg with the end view. So what I'm going to do today, I got to do some for some orders and stuff like that, is I'm going to make the actual shell, what I call the shells, made out of granulated sugar, meringue powder, and water. And so I'm just going to go ahead and get started and pat some out, and then I got to scoot some out. And some of my friends have asked, how do you make them and stuff like that. So I just thought I'd go ahead and do a Facebook Live and let you see how I make them. And so you just get your granulated sugar, and I like to use extra fine granulated sugar. It does make a big difference. Because if you use just regular granulated sugar, the granules are really just too big and they don't turn out well. I'm going to use some, these are old Wilton molds. They don't even make these anymore. I had to buy them on eBay, and sometimes I pay out the nose for them, but I love this size. I mean, you can buy them other places, and I'll list some in the links. I have bought some off of some shops on Etsy and Amazon. Some like the chocolate egg molds. You can use those as well. So I got my sugar already mixed up. This is, like I said, extra fine granulated sugar. I put a tablespoon of meringue powder in there. You don't have to, but I like to give it extra stability and make sure it dries really hard. Depends on the weather outside. If it's a beautiful sunny day like it is now with no rain, I can use 4 to 5 tablespoons of water. Start off with 4, maybe less. Like I said, it depends on the humidity that day. You mix your color in the water before you pour it in the sugar. So I'm just making sure this is set out just a little bit, and it's kind of crusted, so I'm just mixing it all up. But and I mix mine in my mixer. You know, I used to mix them by hand. Well, I got tired really quick, so I just mix it up in my mixer, one batch at a time. And I measure out like a 4-pound bag of sugar, you know, and that fits perfect in my mixing bowl. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start packing it in this mold, and what I'm going to put it on is a tray lined with parchment paper. And you can use wax paper too, for that matter. One's just as good as the other. So I'm just going to pack it in my mold. What I'm doing, I'm just compressing it in the mold. So you'll see that's the beauty about the clear mold. You can see how it compacts in, because you want it good and tight and pressed in there. This is where you can build up some muscles up in your upper chest. Though you can't tell it by looking at me, but you can definitely get a workout. So now you can use, this is like a Wilton spatula. I had used a regular knife, and you're going to pat this in here, so excuse the noise. You want to help pat that down in there, get a nice level surface. And then I'm just going to turn it out onto my my board. So let me tilt the camera down a little bit so you can see what I'm doing here. I can do that without bouncing you around. Okay. So now I'm just going to lift this up. Now you've got a beautiful shell. I want this to be a side view shell. So I'm going to cut this off here. I'm not going to pull it away now. I'm just making a cut. And then I'm going to push this back against the egg so it sticks. Because I want that to dry. I just want the cut part to dry. So when I go to scoop it out, and I'm going to show you in a little bit, when I scoop them out, the purpose behind all that. So now I'm going to do the bottom. So have y'all made these before? Has anybody ever made these before? My grandmother taught me how to make them. Many years ago. If you know of anybody that's interested in learning how to make these or make royal icing flowers or stuff like that, I appreciate if you share the video for me. It's like a big hug. I like to watch Julie Samako on Southern Charms Wreaths, and that's what she says. It's like a big hug for her. So that's pretty cool. Just show you, or show me, you know, a little bit of appreciation there. That'd be cool. So I'm going to do the same for the bottom. I'm going to pat it out. I'll turn it out on right here beside this one. I'm going to pull my mold up. It looks really good and smooth. Now on my eggs that I sell to my customers, I always date it. So I've got me a date stamp here. I'm going to just impress just a little bit on the bottom. I got a B for Beth. I always mark it with a B for Beth. Now I'm going to just tap that down so it's nice and smooth. Let me move the camera just a little bit so you can see. Okay. Now I'm going to cut this side too, which will be the bottom side of the side view. And I'm going to put that back. So that's how you pat the eggs out. I'm going to do a small one. Should I do a small one? I'm just going to press it down. That way you can see the eggs pressing in. So see, I don't mass produce these. I do them one at a time, and it does take time. Date my little egg. I mean, you don't have to do this, but this is just something I choose to do because I have a lot of my customers collect these eggs, and that way they always know what year it's from. So this egg I want to be an end view egg, like we made this one. See, so what I'm gonna do is when I cut that end off, this is how you get the opening once you put the two eggs together. cut it, and I'm going to push it back so it can dry on the inside. Let me do that a little, I don't think I got it quite straight on that one. Anytime if you cut them kind of wonky or something like that, after they're dry, if you scoop them out after they're dry, you can trim them out with like a little Dremel tool or something, and that's what I'll show you when I scoop out these other eggs. My sweetie got me a Dremel tool to carve out the openings, and it has really been a handy tool to have. I'm so glad he thought of it. But don't tell him I said that. Okay, I'm back. These are some eggs that I've already made, and I made them yesterday, and they dried overnight. So, y'all excuse my messy kitchen, because it is what it is, a messy kitchen right now. I got sugar everywhere. I got to vacuum again. So let's do the small one. So I got me an empty bowl here. Catch my sugar, because you can recycle this sugar. Okay, don't throw it away. Like you can, keep it in a tote. And I got to put a lid on this one. I'm running out of totes, so I keep them in a clear bag till I can use them again. Because you can take that leftover sugar and pack it into your molds and make more eggs. I mean, they just keeps going. So now I'm just gonna trim the side of my egg here, and this is an old tablespoon. This is like my grandmother's. I have her set over here that I don't ever touch, but I like this one because it has a nice sharp edge, and I like the roundness of this spoon. I can really smooth out the inside of my egg, so I'll show you that too. But you want to start scooping your egg out, and I like to leave a 1/4 inch or just a little less if I can edge to create the thickness of the shell. So just start scooping out here, and just be careful. If it's good and if you don't have a lot of humidity, your eggs will dry pretty quick. So see, I'm just going around and kind of making a wall. You can hear the difference from when you're actually scraping sugar that's already dried versus what you're just taking off that's not dry. Okay, so you scoop that out. And this is going to be a front view egg. So I've already cut you can see where I made the indentions. Sometimes they pop out. I'm scraping pretty hard around that cut edge. It's where I indented. I made my marks for the opening. Sometimes they pop out like they're supposed to. Sometimes they don't. This is one of the times that it's not. So I probably waited too late to scoop this particular one out. Take the back side of my spoon, and I like to smooth the egg down. It's just a nice finish. I mean, a lot of times you're gonna, there we go. So I got that out. I like it better when they pop out and I don't have to force it. Now, inside here, I can show you. Well, let me turn around this way. There's going to be a ridge. Can you see there? Can you see the ridge right here? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to scrape that out. You can do that carefully with your spoon that you use, or you can take your Dremel tool and just buzz that on out of there. I've done that as well. Now, so I've got this nice and smooth on the inside here, as you can see. Nice. Well, let me see. I got a little place there I missed, I noticed. So nice and smooth. So this is the front side of the egg. So when you decorate it, your customer or you will look at your egg this way. So let's set that down. Now this is the back of the egg. So when you put them together, they're gonna be like this. Just go around the outside edge, get any kind of little burgers off, what you want to call them. Little pieces of sugar. So how's everybody doing? Hope everybody's well. I got some sick grandchildren at home. I raised 2 twins, and so one of them has the flu. But by looking at her and listening to her, you wouldn't know it, but we do have them on Tamiflu, so that's a good thing. Okay, so that one is pretty well done. Like I said, smooth that out. The bigger one, we should be able to see a little better. So I've got that one nice and scooped out. You can see a little better there since I turn it. So once you start decorating them, you're going to decorate them here and in here. And then I always put some royal icing here and then stick them together. Let that dry, and then you can decorate the outside of the egg. Okay. So now, this is like I did before. I made that cut and I pushed it back so it dry. So now I'm just going to pop that off. This still has some moist sugar here, so I'll try to scrape some of that off. Save every little bit. Now this is why I push that back on there. So this part of the sugar here will be soft, and you can scoop it out to make that opening. You see what I'm saying? Now all this up in here has already gotten hard. So that's where you're going to do your borders and stuff when you actually decorate the egg. Now, I do want this to be, the width of this opening to be a little more narrow than what it is. So before I decorate it, I'll get my little Dremel tool out and perfect that opening a little bit. And you can do this with other kind of molds. I mean, it doesn't have to be an egg. I make pumpkins too. You can do a solid bunny rabbit or a solid chick out of sugar and decorate it. I saw a lady, I think it was on Etsy, that made some chicks, and they were just cute as they can be. I thought, I never think of that. Now, got this nice and smooth here, so I'm going to take my the back of my measuring spoon here and just smooth it. Before I do that, let me see if you can see. Actually, well, maybe not. Okay, can you see how rough it looks? Especially up in this area here. This is just a Samsung tablet, so it may not pick it up. I hadn't got any fancy cameras or anything to do Facebook Lives. Maybe I can in the future, but tablet's the best thing I got right now, so hope y'all understand. So I'm just going to smooth all this out. And I'm going to let that dry. We'll do the same thing to the bottom. The fun part is decorating the eggs, I kid you not. This part is like, oh, really, I don't want to scoop out any more eggs today. But it's just like painting a wall, you know, you got to do all your prep work. So. So I've got any crafty folks out there? What do y'all like to make? So I've got a decent sized wall on this one. And I'm going to smooth this one out. That's how you do that one. So this is a side view egg, like I said, and once I decorate it, I'll decorate it just like this. Put my little grass in here, make my little scene, everything else. I even put flowers in the top. And so when I put it together, this is what it's going to look like. And see, I'll take my Dremel tool and I'll kind of buzz this out here. This is kind of, the opening is not very straight. See, you can tell right there. So I'll buzz this kind of level, this part right here. So I'll get it all cleaned up before I decorate it. But that's how you make the shells for the Easter eggs that I decorate. Well, I hope y'all enjoyed that. I think it's pretty cool. Tell me what you think, where you're from, and like I said, I sure appreciate it if you just share the video for me. Like my page, because I'm going to be doing some more videos like this, decorating the sugar eggs. I've got some to do for customers, so I thought I'd do those and share that time with you, and do some eggs for St. Patrick's Day. I'm trying to do some Mardi Gras eggs, but I just about dropped the ball on that. But like I said, like my page, follow me, and share this video.